In 2022, the world watched as one of Hollywood's most glamorous couples faced off in court. Johnny Depp, the legendary actor known for his iconic roles in Pirates of the Caribbean and Edward Scissorhands. Amber Heard, the rising star from Aquaman and The Rum Diary. They had been married. They had been in love. Now they were at war. The trial was broadcast live on television. Millions tuned in daily. Social media exploded with opinions. Hashtags trended worldwide. The internet divided into two camps, Team Johnny and Team Amber. But this wasn't just celebrity gossip. This was a defamation lawsuit that would expose shocking allegations, conflicting evidence, and a marriage that had descended into chaos. This is the story of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. A story of love, betrayal, and a trial that changed everything. It started like a Hollywood fairy tale. Johnny Depp was already a superstar when he met Amber Heard on the set of The Rum Diary in 2011. She was 25 years old. He was 48. Despite the age difference, they connected. They fell in love. For years, they were seen together at red carpet events, award shows, and exclusive parties. They looked happy. They looked in love. In December 2014, Johnny proposed with a custom-designed diamond ring. Amber said yes. The wedding was planned. Their friends celebrated. The media covered every detail. On February 3, 2015, they got married in Los Angeles. It seemed like a dream come true. But behind closed doors, something darker was happening. Tensions were building. Arguments were escalating. The fairy tale was beginning to crack. Within just 15 months, on May 27, 2016, Amber filed for divorce. She cited irreconcilable differences. But that wasn't the whole story. That was just the beginning. When Amber filed for divorce, she made shocking allegations. She claimed that Johnny had been physically abusive during their relationship. She claimed he had hit her, thrown objects at her, and threatened her. She obtained a temporary restraining order against him. She claimed she feared for her safety. Johnny denied all allegations. He claimed he had never laid a hand on her. He said she was the aggressor. He said she had hit him. The accusations flew back and forth. Each side told a completely different story. In December 2015, before the divorce was even finalized, Amber wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post. She didn't name Johnny directly, but she described herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse. The article was published on December 18, 2018, 3 years after their separation. Johnny saw the op-ed as a direct attack on his reputation. He believed it was written about him. He believed it was defamatory. In March 2019, he filed a lawsuit against Amber Heard for defamation, seeking $50 million in damages. Amber countersued, claiming defamation as well. She sought $100 million. The legal battle was on, but neither side expected what would happen next. For 3 years, the case moved through the legal system. Depositions were taken. Evidence was gathered. Lawyers prepared their cases. Both sides hired top legal teams. Both sides were determined to win. Johnny Depp's legal team argued that he was the victim. They claimed Amber had been the abuser. They presented evidence of her aggressive behavior. They argued that the op-ed had damaged his career and reputation. Amber Heard's legal team argued that she was telling the truth. They claimed Johnny had been physically and emotionally abusive. They argued that she had the right to speak about her experience. They claimed the op-ed was protected speech. The case was set to go to trial in Virginia. Virginia was chosen because the Washington Post had servers there. The trial was scheduled for April 2022. Both sides prepared for what would be the most public trial of their careers. Neither side knew that the trial would be broadcast live on television. Neither side knew that millions of people would be watching. Neither side knew that social media would turn the trial into a spectacle. On April 11, 2022, the trial began in Fairfax County, Virginia. The courtroom was packed with journalists, lawyers, and spectators. Cameras were positioned to capture every moment. The world was watching. Johnny Depp took the stand first. He testified for 4 days. He described his relationship with Amber in detail. He talked about their arguments, He talked about her jealousy. He talked about incidents where she allegedly hit him and threw objects at him. He played audio recordings of their conversations. In one recording, Amber could be heard saying, "Tell the world, Johnny, tell them Johnny Depp, a man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence." In another, she said, "I didn't punch you. I was hitting you." Johnny's testimony was emotional. He cried on the stand. He talked about how the allegations had destroyed his career. He talked about losing movie roles. He talked about the impact on his reputation. Then Amber Heard took the stand. She testified for 4 days as well. She described incidents where she claimed Johnny had been physically abusive. She talked about a time he allegedly threw a phone at her face. She talked about a time he allegedly kicked her. She talked about her fear of him. She also cried on the stand. She talked about the impact of his behavior on her mental health. She talked about her fear during their relationship. She talked about why she wrote the op-ed. The trial became a spectacle. Millions watched online. Social media erupted with opinions. Hashtags trended. People took sides. The trial became less about the legal facts and more about public opinion. As the trial progressed, shocking evidence was presented. Audio recordings were played. Text messages were displayed on screens. Photographs were shown to the jury. Videos were presented. One of the most damaging pieces of evidence was a recording of Amber admitting to hitting Johnny. In the recording, she said, "I didn't punch you. I was hitting you." She also said, "Tell the world, Johnny, tell them Johnny Depp, a man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence." Johnny's legal team used this recording to argue that Amber was the aggressor. They argued that she was the one who was abusive. They argued that she had fabricated her story. Amber's legal team presented photographs of bruises they claimed were caused by Johnny. They presented testimony from her friends who claimed they had witnessed abuse. They presented expert testimony about domestic violence patterns. One of the most controversial pieces of evidence was a video of Johnny allegedly destroying kitchen cabinets. In the video, he could be seen hitting cabinets with a wine bottle. Johnny's legal team argued this showed his anger issues but didn't prove he hit Amber. The trial also revealed details about their relationship that shocked the public. There were allegations of drug use. There were allegations of infidelity. There were allegations of financial disputes. The more evidence that was presented, the more the public became divided. Some people believed Johnny was the victim. They pointed to the audio recordings and the video of him destroying property as evidence that Amber was the aggressor. They believed she had fabricated her abuse claims. Other people believed Amber was the victim. They pointed to the photographs of bruises and the testimony of her friends as evidence that Johnny had been abusive. They believed she was telling the truth. The jury had to decide who was telling the truth. The jury had to decide who was the victim and who was the aggressor. The jury had to decide if the op-ed was defamatory or protected speech. On June 1, 2022, after 6 weeks of testimony and evidence, the jury reached a verdict. The courtroom was packed. Cameras were ready. The world was waiting. The jury found that Amber Heard had defamed Johnny Depp with her op-ed. The jury awarded Johnny Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. However, Virginia law capped punitive damages at $350,000. So the total award to Johnny was $10.35 million. But the jury also found that Johnny Depp had defamed Amber Heard through a statement made by his lawyer. The jury awarded Amber Heard $2 million in compensatory damages. The verdict was a mixed result. Johnny Depp won the case, but Amber Heard also won on one count. The internet erupted. Social media exploded. Hashtags trended worldwide. Johnny Depp supporters celebrated. They believed justice had been served. They believed Amber Heard had been exposed as a liar. They believed Johnny had been vindicated. Amber Heard supporters were devastated. They believed the verdict was wrong. They believed the jury had sided with the more powerful person. They believed Amber's voice had been silenced. The verdict didn't end the controversy. It intensified it. The trial had become more than a legal case. It had become a cultural moment. It had become a referendum on domestic violence, celebrity, and power. After the verdict, both Johnny and Amber moved forward with their lives. Johnny Depp returned to acting. He appeared in films and television shows. His career began to recover. He regained some of his reputation. Amber Heard also continued her career. She appeared in films and television shows. She continued to maintain that she was telling the truth. She continued to advocate for domestic violence awareness. The case had a broader impact on society. It sparked conversations about domestic violence. It sparked conversations about celebrity and power. It sparked conversations about social media and public opinion. Some people criticized the trial for becoming a spectacle. They argued that the live broadcast had turned a serious legal case into entertainment. They argued that social media had distorted the facts. They argued that the jury had been influenced by public opinion. Others defended the trial. They argued that transparency was important. They argued that the public had a right to know what happened. They argued that the trial had raised awareness about domestic violence. The trial also had an impact on the Me Too movement. Some people argued that the verdict had set back the movement. Others argued that it had shown that false allegations could have serious consequences. The trial became a point of contention in broader conversations about gender, power, and accountability. The trial of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard was one of the most watched legal cases in history. It captivated millions of people around the world. It divided the internet. It sparked important conversations. But at its core, it was a story about a relationship that had gone wrong. It was a story about two people who had loved each other and then hurt each other. It was a story about the consequences of betrayal. The trial revealed the complexity of domestic violence. It showed that abuse can be difficult to prove. It showed that both men and women can be victims. It showed that the truth is often more complicated than either side wants to admit. Whether you believe Johnny or Amber, the trial raised important questions. What does justice look like in cases of domestic violence? How do we balance the rights of the accused with the rights of the accuser? How do we prevent false allegations while also protecting real victims? The trial of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard will be remembered as a cultural moment. It will be studied in law schools. It will be analyzed by psychologists and sociologists. It will be remembered as the trial that divided the internet. But most importantly, it should be remembered as a reminder of the importance of truth, accountability, and respect in our relationships. It should be remembered as a cautionary tale about what happens when love turns to betrayal.